Welcome back to Jet Recaps. Today I will show you a crime thriller movie from 2016, titled Don't Breathe. The first scene begins with Rocky, Alex, and Money breaking into an apartment. The three are petty crooks who make a living by breaking into people's homes. They steal their valuables and sell them. But they target only homes secured by Alex's dad's security company to gain easy access. Rocky, the female among them, has plans to leave Detroit and move to California with her younger sister, Diddy, to escape from their abusive mother, Ginger, and her alcoholic boyfriend, Trevor. But the materialization of her plans is far-fetched as she and her friends barely make enough from their heists. Because their fence keeps undervaluing the items they steal. One day, Money receives a tip from their fence that a Gulf War veteran, Norman living in an abandoned neighborhood, has about $300,000 in cash in his house. The cash is said to have been given to him as a settlement after a wealthy young woman, Cindy Roberts, killed his daughter in a car accident. Money and Rocky believe this could be their big break and last heist. But Alex is reluctant to go against their no stealing of cash policy as he believes things could end badly and put his dad in trouble because the house is under his dad's security company. However, when Rocky pleads with him to make her relocation plan possible, he agrees, as he has a crush on her even though she is dating Money. When the three stake Norman's house later, they learn that he is blind and has a vicious Rottweiler. Norman's blindness guilt trip a soft-hearted Alex. But Money argues that Norman may be blind, but that doesn't make him a saint. And so that night, they decide to break into the house. They begin by drugging the Rottweiler, but find it difficult to break into the house, as none of Norman's spare keys Alex had stolen from his dad's office could open the doors. Rocky sees a bathroom window, and despite Alex's objections, she decides to go in through the window. She breaks in successfully after shattering the window glass. And after disabling the security system, she opens the back door from the inside for them. Now inside, they search for the cash to no avail. Money then goes upstairs and puts a sleeping gas bottle in Norman's room in an attempt to gas him out, to ensure Norman doesn't hear anything. Back downstairs, they see a locked door that leads to a basement. And believing the cash is behind the locked door, Money shoots at the lock. Horrified that Money came with a gun, Alex decides to leave. And he asks Rocky to leave with him too, but she refuses. Meanwhile, the noise from the gun had woken Norman up, causing him to go downstairs. Rocky and Money are startled when they see him. And Money decides to take hold of the situation by threatening him. However, Norman overpowers Money skillfully. And despite Money's pleas, he shoots Money in the neck and through the head while Rocky silently watches. Terrified, she backs out quietly and hides in a closet. And in the closet, she sees the code as Norman opens a safe inside the closet containing the cash. Meanwhile, Alex, on hearing the gunshot, gets curious and comes back inside the house. And he almost runs into Norman, who is moving frantically to secure the house. But luckily, he dodges Norman on time. He receives a text from Rocky crying for help, and he finds her in the closet. But when he tells her that they should call the police and confess to save their lives, she stops him. And to his surprise, she opens the safe using the code and puts all the cash in her bag. Afterward, they evade Norman and head toward the basement in an attempt to escape through a storm cellar. However, Norman finds their shoes and realizes there are more intruders in the house. And he quickly goes over to check his safe but finds it empty. Inside the basement, Alex and Rocky find a restrained woman, who Rocky recognizes from an article as Cindy Roberts. They head to her pleas and free her. And then attempt to open the storm cellar door to escape. But Norman, alerted by a bell connected to Cindy's chains, discovers they are in the basement, and shoots at them as soon as Alex opens the storm cellar door. Norman misses Alex by the hair but accidentally kills Cindy, which causes him to break down and cry over Cindy's dead body. He then locks the storm cellar door and shuts off the lights to the house, plunging the basement into total darkness. With their phone dead, this throws Alex and Rocky into confusion, and they run blindly through the basement, knocking things over. Norman captures Alex and tries to shoot him but discovers his gun is empty. Alex manages to knock him down by pushing a shelf down on him, and he runs upstairs with Rocky. They lock the basement door using a crowbar and then try to open the front door, only to find the Rottweiler awake and ready to attack them. They run from the dog and hide in a room. Unfortunately, Norman has gotten out of the basement and tries to break the door. Rocky escapes through a ventilation duct while Alex tries to hold down the door. But Norman overpowers him, and Alex falls out of a window onto a skylight, knocking him out. As he awakens, Norman shoots the skylight, causing Alex to crash back into the house. After a brief struggle, he corners Alex in the utility room and appears to have stabbed him with garden shears. Luckily, he had stabbed Money's dead body instead, mistaking it for Alex. Meanwhile, the dog sees Rocky and pursues her through the vent. Unfortunately, on reaching the end of the vent, Norman captures her. And he knocks her unconscious. Rocky wakes up restrained in the same spot as Cindy, and when she begs Norman to let her go, Norman reveals that Cindy was pregnant with a replacement for his daughter. And Rocky must take her place to give him a child since her actions had led to Cindy's death. He then prepares to inseminate Rocky artificially, but just as he is about to, Alex intervenes. And he knocks Norman out using a hammer. After saving Rocky, they beat and handcuff Norman. But just as they are about to leave through the front door, Norman breaks free and shoots Alex dead. However, Rocky makes a run for it, and Norman releases his dog after her. She runs into Money's car before the dog gets to her, but she loses her backpack containing the cash. In an attempt to get to it, she manages to trap the Rottweiler in the car trunk. However, Norman captures her again and drags her back inside the house. But after a boost of confidence, she disorients him by using the control to set off the security system. And then hit his head repeatedly with a crowbar, until he falls unconscious into the basement. Afterward, she takes the cash and then escapes successfully just as the police arrive. Later that day, Rocky and Diddy are waiting at the Detroit train station, to leave on a train to Los Angeles. But before they leave, Rocky sees a news report on TV about the incident, stating that Norman is recovering in the hospital and under a stable condition. And he is reported to have killed 2 intruders in self-defense. However, he says nothing about Cindy or the stolen cash. The movie comes to an end as Rocky and Diddy leave through the departures gate without looking back. If you enjoyed this recap, kindly like and subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon. Do let us know what you think about the movie in the comment section below. Enjoy other movie explanations on our channel. Thanks for watching.